Welcome to Netweb TV. My name is Mongezi Mtati. Today we're out at Mythos with Eve Dmochowska, who's a web strategist. So Eve, tell me, what is a web strategist?
A web strategist is someone who spends a lot of time online analyzing the different tools that are available for marketing yourself online, in social media, or just the general web space, and figuring out how to use those tools together in a very clever mix to promote traffic to a website or to drive revenue for a company, whatever the goals may be.
So what is the significance of having a web strategy?
It's absolutely crucial, especially if you are a small company, because small companies, new companies, tend to have very little marketing budget, which is a time when they need it most. And a good web strategy will get you maximum impact for minimum cost. So you will find that with just a little bit of clever strategy and thought and ideas, you can create a word-of-mouth campaign that's costs you almost nothing, but generates a huge amount of attention at the very least.
But do you do a lot of work with small businesses?
I do. I tend to work a lot with startups. That's where my passion lies, or companies that might be a bit bigger but are launching new projects. I like to be at the very beginning of a project, see it through the first 3 months or so, and then move on, and set a strategy that they can use for long term.
Do you offer any form of training at all?
There's very little training that's available in this space, unfortunately, in South Africa. There is one advertising school that is going to be launching a degree program in the digital space, which is very exciting, and I will be teaching there. Other than that, from my side, my education happens mostly online, where I create material that educates people about the best use of the web space.
What are you hoping to accomplish with the new media journal?
The idea is that it's an ever-evolving, ongoing project to educate. I'm trying to focus on South Africans, but I suppose it's applicable to anybody in the world. And the focus is on educating them about the Web 2.0 space and everything that can be done with it from a marketing and strategic point of view. The book is free, by the way. The journal is free. You can just download it from our website and read it.
What's the website?
2jumpsahead.com.
With all these things that you're currently doing, how do you tie them all up into one thing as your web strategy, and are they making you any money? Do you make money from them?
My core money-making thing, I suppose, is my strategy that I outsource to other companies, where they actually pay me to create a strategy for them, a web strategy. Okay. I am tending to move away from that though, so I'm actually trying to retire most of my clients so that I can focus most on what I do for myself from a web entrepreneur point of view, and I do generate money like that as well.
You also mentioned a lot of mistakes in terms of online marketing and just marketing generally. What are the most common flaws that you've seen?
The biggest one is that companies actually do not go online at all. They are not focused on having an online presence, which is a mistake because it's almost free. And it can, like I said earlier, create a lot of impact. So that's a mistake. And the other mistake is the absolute polar opposite of it, is companies that decide they really need to be online, and they need to be online everywhere, and they try and do everything, and they don't do anything properly.
Before we started here today, I signed up for myzone.co.za. What are your intentions with that?
The main focus of it is it gives you an opportunity as an individual South African for the first time to create a real online presence for yourself, A, and B, if you already have an online presence elsewhere, to allow you to consolidate all those different presences onto one space.
And I'm guessing the other distinguishing factor is that it focuses on the South African content.
It's purely focused on South Africans, which allows it to be, it allows it to be very niched. It allows us to be much more focused on the South African environment. We know it's obviously different to the limitations that Europe or America have. There is a forum, if you ask what is the best ISP, it's a South African ISP, obviously, not a global one.
How can an entrepreneur focus their energy or focus their business, think of their business as a campaign? Well,
I suppose that the first thing to do is to actually ask yourself, who's my target audience? And what am I trying to achieve? Is it, what is my main goal in setting up this marketing campaign or this social media campaign, or even setting up the business? And work from there, see who is the core target audience for your end product. And if you are moving online, ask yourself, what is the best way to reach the target audience, even if it isn't your preferred medium to work with.
Last week Friday, I think it was, I read an email from Blue Catalyst which said you got second place at MIT's 60-second business pitch. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
What goes into a good business pitch though?
3 things. First one, you ask yourself, or you have to state very clearly, what problem are you trying to solve? Secondly, you have to say how you're going to solve it. And thirdly, why you are the person to do that.
Did you get investors after you pitched?
I got 2 open checkbooks, basically. 2 people came up and said, whatever, it's a great idea. Whatever needs to happen to make it work, they are willing to fund it. So yes, I suppose from that point of view, yes. I didn't take the investments, but I certainly attracted them. The open checks are just lying there.
Thank you for joining us, Eve. Thank you for joining us on NetWeb TV. Till next time, cheers.